standing here, waiting for my honey. Hope she will come for having much fun. But she's not here, so I drink another beer. Throw it all away. Throw it all.
Hey, this is Dyno Dan here. Spoiler alert. I got a wok in a steak cook-off. I'm not at the top of my game, but I'm getting better. I want to show you guys just exactly what it's taken me to go from the 20s to an 8th position. So sit back, relax. A lot of this will be in time-lapse form, so won't really be any audio to go along with it. Enjoy. Take care. Peace. So this steak here is after I kind of game planned and figured out my seasonings already and my approach. Here my approach was to sear one side with the flat griddle and do hash marks on the other side. I ran into issues here. As you could see, I left a lot of seasoning on that flat side, and I wasn't particularly happy about that. Throughout all these cooks, my steaks were coming out really too rare, and I wasn't happy about that either. This steak, by the way, was a Creekstone Prime ribeye, and while it tasted good, it was just missing the results that I really wanted. So this is preparation for the first, or for the day before the cook-off. Here's 2 more Creekstone Primes. This way I'm going to be using a couple different ingredients to try to help that sear side on the flat side of the sear grates. Try to help that from sticking to the sear grate. So I'm using some ghee, and I'm doing a little more detail now into my trimming and such. Also, I'm leaving these out to come to room temperature a little longer than I have been to try to help out with the doneness of my steaks. So here I am putting on second coat of seasonings and the top coat also. Here we go, the first one. I gotta say that I was disappointed in this cook, as I wanted to really get everything nailed and feel really confident about going into the cook on Saturday. Again, these steaks turned out a little on the rare side of life. The first one did. And then the second one, while it was cooked better, it did not have the sear marks I wanted. This was really frustrating, as, like I said, this would be my last practice before the big game on Saturday. Saturday started out really cool. I brought out the mini smoker that I've named Dixie, threw some hot dogs in it. She got a lot of looks from passerbyers. It was a really cool way to start the morning. Got to cook a little bit of breakfast, and also got to show off Dixie here. So after the fun and games, it was down to get to bigness. So I got my steaks, and I started to trim and prepare them. This one was my second steak I picked out, and so I usually like to cut that one up first, make sure I'm good with my knife skills. So that's what you see here, just doing some trimming and things like that. Once I get done with this steak, I get to my second steak, and which would have been my first steak that I picked as my number one steak. And as I took that first cut, I noticed that the steak isn't showing me very good potential, and I'm a little nervous at this point, and I'm a little frustrated, but I continue on with the trim, trying to focus on details, but my frustration has really gotten to me here. So I get them tied up, get them seasoned up here, and away they go to wait their day for the PK. Here's the last images before they go away. Had to get this shot, thought it was cool. Little action there. So that's my buddies getting ready for the tri-tip turn-ins, doing their thing. Their tri-tip was a bomb. Very good stuff. These guys were cutting it up and slicing it, getting ready to take care of business. I was more than happy to help sample and do such things. It's now go time for us. We're checking temps, making sure they're where we need to be, getting the resting box all prepared. We're getting ready to start. My nerves are really kicking in at this point, and away we go. I tend to get in the zone at these points, so me and my partner Brian are very concentrated on getting the job done. Well, I was having issues with my brand new ThermoWorks dot needle thermometer. The probe just was reading way too hot, and Wasn't sure why. And actually, we didn't get a good sear on the flat side, so we had to finish it there just to make sure we get that sear. Again, you can see me here struggling with the dot thermometer. So we get that one to rest, cleaning the grates. Now we're ready to go with the second one. I switch out thermometers and I use the original dot thermometer, cable, probe, whatever you call it. So we get started and we're on our way. Make sure the grates are hot, right where they need to be. We're talking, and we get to this point where we need the thermometer and we need to check the grate temp because we need these sear marks to be correct. And at this point, Brian had actually dropped it. We had issues, took some time off. So I had to trust the old handy thermometer to get this done. Get it in there and bam. So I call my buddies around and we start to look at them and we decide that this is the best one presentation wise that we're going to go with. We box it up and bam, here it is. That's how she goes in. Here are my scores. So my scores revealed that we did really well on presentation. We had 49 points on presentation. But our weak area was texture. When I asked one of the judges what is texture, they explained to me that it's how the meat feels when they put it in their mouth. Whether it's pleasant feeling, whether they like it, or sometimes it may be gristly. The judges said that's probably the category that has the least to do with what we do to the meat. So I'll definitely be working to get better and stronger at doing these competitions. Special thank you to Brian, who helped me throughout this cook, and I couldn't have done it without him. And my good friends Eric and Josh and Adrian also, who always encouraged me to go out there and do things and step out of my comfort zone. Thanks, guys.
Western country, sitting in a big armchair, one arm around my whiskey